banshee is a mythological creature that appears in Irish folklore and fairy tales. Banshees are female spirits that supposedly wail just before a family member dies. Have you ever heard the phrase, "scream like a banshee"? Some people say this when a child is shrieking or a stranger yells loudly. A banshee is a woman of the fairies, a supernatural being in Irish and other Celtic folklore whose mournful keening or wailing, screaming, or lamentation at night was believed to foretell the death of a member of the family of the person who heard the spirit. The legend is this: the legendary banshee of Irish mythology is said to be a harbinger of death. She has several purported appearances, ranging from a beautiful, alluring woman in white to an old crone, partially naked with red eyes, and get this, carrying a bowl of blood. While most myths portray banshees as predictors of death rather than actively causing mayhem, there are exceptions. Some banshees are depicted as evil, finding pleasure in seeking out victims and wailing at them until they either commit suicide or go insane. So you ask, are there male banshees too? Well, get this. The male counterpart is unsurprisingly fiercest. Male fairies, banshees, are mythological creatures that may be depicted as having any kind of voice. They say that banshees have superhumanly powerful lungs, throats, and vocal cords, which would explain their wailing. But I suppose the biggest question is, how would you get rid of a banshee? If you happen to encounter a banshee, the only means of escape is to kick a comb at her, which apparently serves as a distraction and allows you to make an escape. Run, Forrest, run. So besides its scream, how would you identify one of these banshees? What do they look like? In some cases, she appears as an older woman with long white hair and red cheeks. At other times, she appears as a young woman with long black hair, blue eyes, and pale skin. She may be beautiful or old or bird-like. So what do you do if you hear a banshee in your house? In Irish folklore, it is believed that one can ward off a banshee by offering her a token of respect or a gesture of kindness. You better be a good little cookie. It is said that banshees can eat a wide variety of foods, including meat and eggs, but can also consume fruits, mushrooms, seeds, and nectar. I mean, who doesn't like nectar? So what happens if you see this banshee? Legend says that if seen, the banshee will vanish into a cloud of mist. And at this point, you could be one lucky little thing. So one question we haven't asked yet is, do banshees fear anything? They say there is one thing that causes weakness to the banshee, and it's the fear of the crucifix, and will be less aggressive when near one. I suggest that everybody wears a crucifix, especially if you plan on going to Ireland. So you're probably wondering right about now, how does one become a banshee? These women were known as keeners, and since they accepted alcohol as payment, they were said to be sinners and punished by being doomed to become banshees. Now, whether you believe these stories or not, you may very well want to be cautious if you ever encounter one of these beings, or at least be open-minded to when you hear wailing you may want to approach with caution. Or again, it would be pretty smart to keep a crucifix near.